Hey students, today we're going to talk about editing and revising your personal memoirs. So we have 3 documents we're going to take a look at today. The first one you should have used yesterday to choose a peer editing partner and to successfully share your Google Docs so that you can collaborate online. And today we're going to take a look at day 2 resources. You're going to be using 2 rubrics to assess your peer's personal memoir and to provide some critical, positive, constructive, helpful feedback on how they can improve their narrative writing. Let's take a look at our documents for today. This was the first document that you used yesterday for choosing a peer editing partner. So it defines editing and revising for you, and under directions it says 1. Choose a partner from the provided list of students. 2. Watch the instructional video on sharing and accessing one another's drafts, making marginal notes. 3. You were to share your work and access your partner's. 4. You were to read through your partner's entire work without marking it. Read it out loud. Take your time. 5. You were to add marginal notes for sections that may have been difficult to understand for the reader. And then 6. You were to add marginal notes for 2 sections that you most enjoyed. On the bottom part of that document, you had a list of every student in Writer's Workshop right now who has a draft that needs edited. You were to choose a partner from this list and email him or her to confirm your partnership. And again, you were then to share your document with one another and access it on Google Docs. It's imperative you watch the YouTube video on sharing Google Docs. Today you will be using 2 different rubrics to assess your peer's draft. The first one is for stylistic author writing technique weave-ins. Notice that I have all of the weave-ins color-coded the same color they should appear in the draft to make it easy for you to find. Take a look at the writing technique on the left. Double check the weave-in details, what should be incorporated. If you forget what a particular writing technique is or your peer needs to revisit it, you all have the link to the instructional YouTube video that goes along with each technique listed there. And then on the right you have a section for the grade. You're going to go into your peer's work, review their writing technique weave-ins, and you're going to assign a grade for each of them on the right-hand side. Be honest and make sure that your grades accurately reflect what they have woven into their draft. After you've done that, you're going to, on page 2, tally up their grade out of 28. So again, you're going to give them an accurate score for each weave-in. You're going to add up all the weave-in scores, and that will give you a number out of 28. Then, on the bottom, you're going to write about the strengths from the integration of the weave-ins that your partner has and areas where he or she could improve their weave-ins. Once you've completed this particular graded rubric for your peer, you are going to email this particular document to your peer so he or she can revise based on the feedback provided. The other rubric you're going to be using to assess your peer's work is the paper skeleton rubric. Here, you'll go in and make sure that your peer has 9 paragraphs that follow the paper skeleton. For example, does this person have the first paragraph as an attention-grabbing opening? If he or she has an extremely detailed attention-grabbing opening, you will assign the score of 5. If it's detailed, 4. If it has some places where it could be improved and it needs some more detail and some attention, you'll assign a 3, etc. So you're going to go in for each paragraph in the draft and make sure it follows the paper skeleton and assign an accurate score. Please be honest with your peer. We want positive feedback, but we also want actually helpful feedback, so be honest. Once you have assigned a score for each of those paragraphs, each of the 9 criterion, you're going to give a score out of 50. So you're going to go and tally all of the numbers from the rubric and assign a score out of 50 here. Similarly to the other rubric, you are going to write strengths from the paper skeleton outline. For example, maybe he or she did the attention-grabbing opening really well. You can provide feedback on that. And then you're going to add areas for improvement for the paper skeleton outline, little written feedback there. So what areas could he or she improve upon? Maybe they need to go back to the hot spot, the big reveal moment, and slow down and add more descriptive detail. Once you finish this rubric for your peer, you're going to email it to him or her so that he or she can revise based on your feedback.